Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to let y'all know my July TBR. I can't believe it's July. And this TBR is mainly what Libby is telling me I have to read because I don't know what I've done, but I have had so many books that I had on hold come available and I really have to knock these books out. So it's rough. It's rough. So I'm not deciding on these. These are just what I had on hold, but if they were on hold, it means that's something that I wanted to read and get to, so at least that's exciting. But yeah, I will go over exactly what I have to read, and coming up, the first thing that I will be having coming due is The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. There's been like a lot of hype behind this book, like one of the most anticipated novels of the year, like on so many publications, so that's exciting to me. It's a thriller suspense fiction, so the cover just looks fun. Let's see. It says the hunting wives share more than target practice, martinis, and bad behavior in this novel of obsession, seduction, and murder. It just sounds fun. It sounds like a really summery, catty read, which I live for that kind of drama. I think it's really interesting, like suburban mom drama. So it's about a woman who seems to have the perfect life, perfect job, perfect husband, perfect family. Everything's fine except she gets bored. She's bored. And you know, she ends up finding out about this club that some other women in the community have called the Hunting Wives. Now, one of the members in the Hunting Wives, our main character, is obsessed with. She kind of starts wanting to be just like her, be part of like their group and their parties and things like that. And what happens is a girl turns up murdered in the woods around where their meeting place for the hunting wives would be. So now Sophie is in the middle of a murder investigation and she doesn't really know what to do, and at this point her like perfect life has dwindled. Sounds really fun and like a great summer read. I know I already said that, but those are really what I'm trying to read right now. It's July. Okay, next up we have You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Barron. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But this is a YA thriller horror, and usually I'm not a YA person when it comes to like my suspense or horror kind of books, but this premise sounded so fun to me. So it's about this girl who goes to this camp. She volunteers at this camp where they put on haunted houses. So, but it's like haunted house to the max. It's like full contact, you have to sign a contract, like intense haunted house. And as someone who loves haunted houses, this sounds awesome to me, really exciting and fun, and I haven't read a book like this before. And at the summer camp, the camp is almost done and completed for the summer, and then people start disappearing. The volunteers at the camp start disappearing. And then one shows up dead. Dun, dun, dun. Can you show up dead? Turns up dead. That's the better way to say it. You don't really, if you're dead, you're not showing up anywhere. Our main character and her friend are trying to figure out what's going on, who's the killer, and they're trying to survive the night. So I think it is going to turn into kind of a slasher, which sounds really exciting to me. So I am so excited about this one. I think this is like a perfect read to read while camping. This storyline, this premise is exactly what I want. It's exactly the kind of thing that I would love. And next we have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, the author of Babel, if you read that, one that I loved. I'm sure you've seen this. I feel like it's been everywhere. And it's like a literary fiction. The main character, basically, when her friend passes, who is a writer, they're both writers, her friend passes and she steals the novel that her friend wrote. But I think that this is supposed to have commentary on, you know, diversity, racism, cultural appropriation, which is what this woman is doing when she is stealing her friend's book and trying to act you know, racially ambiguous in the whole thing. So I've heard nothing but good things, and can't wait to read this one. Next up, we have A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons by Kate Kavari. It's a mystery historical fiction. I know the title sounds like it's fantasy, but it's not. So apparently we have this woman named Saffron, and it's in London, the early 1920s, and she gets this role at a college, and she is the first female to have that role as a research assistant. And she goes to a party that one of her fellow professors are holding, and she thinks that, you know, it's going to be all fun and dandy, but then the professor's wife drops dead and has seemed to be poisoned. Now, this is what's really exciting to me, is that our main character, Saffron, it says that she uses her knowledge of botany as she explores steamy greenhouses, dark gardens, and deadly poisons to clear her professor's name, who is also her mentor. So that sounds so fun, super springy. Like, I'm excited about greenhouses, gardens. I love that. So I'm really hopeful for this one. I want it to give me that atmosphere, those springy, summery, flowery vibes. That's what I need. Well, it sounds like a cozy, fun murder mystery. I think that this would be great to just sit outside. Like, I imagine myself like in a hammock, and it's like late and the sun's going down, and I'm just reading this, and I could smell flowers, and it's hot outside. I hope that I make that come true. I need to make that happen while I read this book. This next one is called Night's Edge by Liz Corinne. I hope I'm saying that right. I think it's Liz Corinne. I haven't heard anyone talk about this one yet. If you've seen Bones and All with Timothée Chalamet, which, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved. I love that movie. This sounds like a similar premise, except instead of the kid having this issue with being blood hungry, it's the kid's mom. So it's kind of like switched around like that, and then the kid is growing up and really wants to have a life of their own. So it's a fantasy horror, and I'm interested to see where this goes. Like, I don't know if it's going to be more spooky or more like drama-esque. The main character, Mia, like, her main chore in life was to stay hidden, not do anything, be there for her mom, and basically make sure no one knows of her mom's hunger. It says the kind that only blood can satisfy. So I wonder how this is going to end up. I really have no expectations for this as far as like where it's going to go, and I'm excited. Next up, we have Go as a River by Shelley Reed. So this one seems like a drama literary fiction. It's based in Colorado, which I instantly love that because I'm from Denver. But it's based on a peach farm in Colorado, which I was like, okay, summery vibes. Nothing says summer more than a peach. Main character, what's her name? Our main character, Victoria. Well, how did I forget that name? Her name's Victoria. But she is the only female in this family, basically. And she comes across another woman who has been displaced from tribal land. And it's about how they come together, they change each other's lives. I don't know if this is going to be like a sapphic romance. I don't know. It seems like a coming of age story, which I always love a good coming of age story, where this friendship that she has with this person completely changes her life and ignites something new. And it's kind of like her grappling with where she's going, who she wants to be. Is this farm and the place that she loves in her family, like, is that what her life is going to be in the future? So it sounds like a drama, coming of age. Seems a little sad and depressing, but you know, every now and again, I'm open for that. And I hope that the atmosphere of this really leads to that summery feel that I'm hoping for as well. But this has great reviews, so I'm excited about it. And then next we have The Puzzle Master by Danielle Trussoni. This sounds like a totally wild ride, and even reading the synopsis, I am wholly confused on what it's supposed to be about, and that's probably the point, and I'm open to that. But apparently this world is made of puzzles, and we have a puzzle master who constructs these puzzles. But then after an accident, a character has a brain injury that kind of like turns him into a savant, and he's able to solve all of these kinds of puzzles. But then it turns into them trying to solve some sort of mystery about a murder that it can evolve to something else. I don't know. It sounds interesting, wild, totally, it might totally go over my head, honestly, because that's how it's seeming when I read the synopsis. But it says it's a thriller, historical fiction, suspense, and the quote about it that, you know, they always have like an author quote for in the book reviews. It says that, in short, the puzzle master equals the Da Vinci Code plus the silent patient plus a sprinkle of Stephen King times gorgeous writing. You know, that sounds intriguing to me, fun, and sounds like something different. And I'm open to that and excited. And I'm excited for that. And yeah, I'm excited to give this a read. I haven't heard anything about it yet. It just came out a couple weeks ago on June 12th. So it's a new one. Okay, next we have Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. Now, I've heard amazing things about this book, and honestly, it's probably not a book that I would normally go for, just because it seems kind of like a romance drama kind of thing, which is not usually what I love, but the reviews have been great, so I'm going to give it a shot. This is about a couple in a love story where Adelaide falls in love with this man, and they fall in love with each other, and it's a story of them falling in love, but then a tragedy happens within the man's life, and she's there to pick up the pieces and kind of hold him together through, you know, whatever happened. And it's supposed to be about how, you know, love can tear us apart. Like, how far would you go for the person that you love, even if it destroys you yourself? And it sounds sad, so sad and deep. I hope that it's as good as everyone says it is, and the cover is also beautiful and looks really summery, so I'm always open to a summery cover as well. Next up, we have Ghosts of an Orphanage by Christine Keneally. This sounds really interesting. It is a nonfiction and kind of like a true crime book, and it's about how horrible orphanages were in the past and how abusive across all spectrums, which I think including, you know, mentally, physically, you know, religious trauma, things like that are caused through some of these orphanages. And it has firsthand stories from survivors, and I just think that that area sounds really interesting to me, and I would love to learn more about, because the industry, you know, doesn't have a great past. So I am looking forward to that and to hearing some of these stories and learning something from it as well. Next up, we have The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't know if I'm going to read this. It's come available a few times from my holds and to like ready to borrow, and I've pushed it back to deliver later a couple of times just because I don't know if I want to read this. I've heard really mixed reviews, and I want this to be more of a thriller, and it seems that it's not. It seems like it's more of a drama, and about motherhood from different points of views. And like we follow multiple characters in it, and it shows multiple stories. I am a bit conflicted about it because the push was amazing. It was one of my favorite. Did I read that this year? I think I did read it this year. It's been one of my favorite books that I've read in quite some time. I loved it. And the commentary on motherhood was amazing in that too. But it was spooky, and the ending was the last like few sentences amazing. So I'm conflicted on it. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it. Like if it was, you know, short, I would definitely be like, oh yeah, I'll give it a go, but it is a little bit longer, I think, so I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that one. We'll see if I read that one. Okay, next up we have The First Bright Thing by J.R. Dawson. Now, this sounds like if you're a fan of The Night Circus or like Every Hearted Doorway, you might like, because the author quote they have on this one is from Shauna McGuire, and it says, "This is the Magic Circus book that I've been looking for all my life. Okay, so, that sounds promising. I know that like all these are just like, they're on the same publisher, so they asked them to do it. But anyway, the plot sounds really interesting. There is a circus. It's after World War I, and the ringmaster of the circus, Rin, apparently has a power where she can time travel, or at least that's what it seems like in the synopsis. Something's going on. There's like this dark presence that they're feeling, and they feel like there's this shadow of another circus behind them and an evil ringmaster coming after them. So that's all I'm open for any kind of circusy book. I think I love those kinds of books, and that's some of my favorite fantasy. Yeah, I hope it's kind of like fantasy but a little bit spooky at the same time. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, next up we have what everyone is wanting to read. I feel like it's been everywhere, is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I typically do enjoy his books. They're usually like a good 3 to 4 for me. Even if there's like tropes and silly stuff, I do hate when he makes the women do stupid stuff though. When they make a horrible decision, I do hate that. Huge pet peeve. But anyway, it's about a caregiver who is in charge of helping a woman who has been accused of a gruesome murder. It says Lizzie Borden-esque. So, and it says that it's like a gothic thriller, which what more could you want? And I'm not gonna go too much more in depth with it, but it sounds like we're finding out who actually murdered her family. Like, was it her or someone else? I love a gothic thriller moment, and I'm ready for it. I can't wait. Okay, next we have How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. Hope I'm saying that correctly. But this is supposed to be like similar to Station 11 in the sense that it is post-apocalyptic. There has been a plague, a pandemic, and we're following the characters afterwards. And it's more about the people afterwards rather than what happened, and I love that. I love Station 11. Also, Station 11, the show on HBO. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's pretty different from the book. Like they do make a lot of changes, but wow, it's like a nearly perfect show in my eyes. So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. But I'm excited about a book like this. I love anything dystopian, post-apocalyptic. It's some of my favorite types of books, and I can't wait to read this, and the reviews have been really great so far. Okay, now we have The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. This is like a suspense thriller, and it is about a woman who has lost her business, is in a bad way, and is now homeless, living out of her car in Seattle. And she has parked her car by the beach, and she sees a woman hop in trying to end it all. And she jumps in after her and saves her. But the woman is not grateful. She is very upset and mad at her because she has a horrible life and is in an abusive marriage, and things are not great for her. Okay, so but then they end up building a friendship and becoming friends, and the woman who she saved wants help disappearing, and I don't know where it goes from here, but it says that not everything is what it seems with this woman, and yeah, I'm interested in this plot point. I think it's a super smart premise to base a book on, and something that sounds super interesting. So also I love Seattle, and yeah, sounds a little spooky and sounds like an interesting thriller. I also love thrillers where like women are the main people, so yeah, can't wait to give that one a try. Okay, and my final book on this TBR is The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. Maybe it's Reyes. But this is a suspense mystery thriller. And so our main character, Maya, when she was in high school, one of her friends passed away, and she was standing right in front of this man, Frank, when she just passed. And she discovers a YouTube video where another woman sitting in front of Frank at a diner, and she just flops over, not breathing anymore. This brings her to go back to her hometown, kind of try to figure out what's up with this person, what happened, and go back to this man Frank's house in the Pines, I guess, and really discover what's going on here. Sounds mysterious and spooky, and you know, the house in the Pines, that sounds a little like foresty, which I'm excited about, and seems like a really fast-paced thriller. So also the idea of like a man with power like that, where it just happened, I'm like, I want to know right now, and I haven't even started reading, but I want to know how this is happening. So it's doing the job. It hooked me in, and I haven't seen any reviews for this. They might not be good, I don't know, but I want to give it a shot. And yeah, but that's my last one. I'm sure that there will be, you know, some mix up here depending on what I end up checking out or, you know, moving back. But hopefully I can get to most of these, if not all of them, and have a great July of reading. I'm really excited. This is my first TBR. So thank you for being here. If you're watching and you're here, I know I'm saying a lot. I'm getting better at this. I am trying, and that's all I can do. I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do. But yeah, I look forward to reading vlogs and me trying some of these. I might even do like a July horror reading sprint for some of, because I have a lot of like spooky books, which are my favorite books. Also, once July's over, you know what time it is. You know what time it is once July is over. It is Halloween time. You know, once August hits, I am gung-ho in all of the spooky, all of the horror. I mean, horror is my favorite genre, period, anyway. So I really can't wait to get going on. I have so many recommendations and so many books that I want to read this year for Halloween, and it's starting early. Like, as soon as August comes, you know, there's nothing else left. I'm not reading anything else other than spooky stuff. So I gotta get all the feels going. I gotta make it happen, and I'm so excited for it. Also, Halloween decor is already coming out. It's already coming out, so check your stores. At Home has it. Cracker Barrel, random, but Cracker Barrel has Halloween stuff. Joann's, they're all already getting stuff, so if you're interested in that Halloween decor, you might want to go check your stores out. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching this video, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I know I can ramble quite a bit, but please subscribe, and if you like this, give it a thumbs up. I think it'll really help me, and if you have any questions for me at all, just put them below. I'll answer you. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a lovely day.